Welcome to SportsBeat KC, the Kansas City Star Sports podcast presented by First Federal Bank. It's Monday, May 9th, and I'm Blair Kirchhoff. Chiefs rookies had their own minicamp over the weekend, and we got to know some of the team's draft picks and other first-year players a little bit better. You'll hear from three of them today: cornerback Jaylen Watson, running back Isiah Pacheco, and wide receiver Skyy Moore. But first, you're going to hear a familiar voice. Jesse Newell has spent the previous 14 years covering athletics at the University of Kansas. In the last couple weeks, he's shifted beats and now covers the Chiefs. So we'll catch up with Jesse, and then you'll hear from the Chiefs rookies. I'm here with Jesse Newell, and we're going to talk KU basketball. Oh, wait a second. We are not going to talk KU basketball or KU football or anything to do with the Jayhawks with Jesse Newell. For the first time, I believe, Jesse, that we're having a conversation not about Kansas. It is about the Chiefs, because you are a Chiefs beat writer as of about a week or so ago, and it's fantastic. Let's start by looking in the rearview mirror. You run the Kansas beat for how many years?
14 years, Blair, and that's just professionally, because obviously I went to college at KU, so I covered them some in college then, and when Bill Self was first hired there, I was at that press conference as a student reporter. But just professionally, the last 14 years, I got there right after the 08 title run and the 08-09 Orange Bowl, I guess 07-08 Orange Bowl. So had not seen them win a title until this past season. But yes, 14 years covering KU. And it's crazy to think about now and to even say that number, because it seems like it's been a lot shorter than that.
You had to think it was always going to be that way, right? National championship, BCS Bowl, or whatever they called it then.
No, I grew up around here, Blair. I knew it was not always going to be like that.
That was the exception. What interested you in switching, though? What you coming off a national championship? Kansas always going to be good in hoops. Always is good in hoops. You were covering a guaranteed winner as much as any beat at the Star, a guaranteed winner, and now you have switched over to the Chiefs, which has been a winning organization ever since Andy Reid has been here. But what was your motivating factor to switch?
Yeah, I think it's something new. It's something different. Again, for 14 years, you cover a beat, you get to kind of know it really well, and you get to understand the rhythms. And I thought it was time to shake things up a little bit. And so what fascinates me, and I think people that have read my writing with KU kind of know this, is I sort of really take an interest in the intricacies of the game and try to really drill down into whether it's plays or analytics or just kind of trying to give a different look at something. And you just mentioned it, Blair. I mean, the Chiefs are fascinating, with Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, Brett Veach, obviously the job that all those guys have done to take this organization to where it's been. But, I've covered football at Kansas, and that's been part of the beat, but obviously the interest is not there as much in Lawrence for football. And there's 5 people on the basketball court, so there's so many motions you can do, but there's 11 in football. And so it's kind of been reinvigorating for me, to be honest with you. Like the last couple of weeks, I had a week off and, kind of a staycation sort of thing, and was able to just sort of dive into YouTube and go to the QB school and, learn some of these concepts I didn't understand in football and learn some of the route combinations and things like that. So I just think at this point it was something new, and it interested me, and this is sort of what I've been about is learning new things and kind of pushing myself in that way. And I'm interested and fascinated and excited to get started, because I think all those things are now new to me, and hopefully that will translate into the writing to be new to other people as well, and trying to pull out some of those details that maybe you didn't see on first glance. And
it's not like the Chiefs are new to you. You've lived here your whole life and followed the Chiefs, and you covered the playoff games at Arrowhead. I wasn't out there, and so you got the seat up at Arrowhead Stadium in the press box and saw some fascinating football for especially the last 2 playoff games in the best of times, the worst of times for the Chiefs. So had a little taste of it coming into this.
Yeah, absolutely, and that was great. And obviously working alongside the folks here at the Star, yourself now, but Vahe and Sam McDowell are great, and Herbie on the beat. Obviously can't say enough about those guys, but I think that's sort of was great to do and experience and to see that. But I wrote about the Do It Kels story, which was great. I mean, I think that's sort of if you were going to look at something that what I was love to do on the KU beat, and part of kind of how that could translate over to the Chiefs beat was I love that Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce gave details about that play and what happened. And basically, they freelance backyard footballed the biggest play of the season against the Bills, and it worked. So to get to those details, to go back to the video, and I remember I was kind of in a printer room going back and listening back to the broadcast because I'd recorded it. And I went back and heard the sound. I was like, did he say do it, Kels? Did he say it? Like, you can hear it. You can hear it on the CBS broadcast that he was saying that. And so, to be able to bring that up, bring all those pieces together, bring what Mahomes said and Kelce said all into that, and kind of put back together what that play said and give people a perspective of what happened with that they couldn't have gotten, right there in the moment. Again, I think that's really what's fascinating to me, and trying to kind of dig into that and give. I know you'll understand this reference, Blair, but I always talk about the Paul Harvey. When I grew up, it was the radio, the Paul Harvey rest of the story. You'd get this whole story, and then the last minute, boom, he'd give you a kicker, and it would be Paul Harvey's rest of the story, and you'd get kind of the rest of what you had thought you knew about what had happened with something, and that's what I like to give. I like to try to figure out what was the rest of the story that maybe you didn't get from watching the game on CBS, and I think that ended up being a pretty good example of that, because that play, especially if they had won the Super Bowl, I know they didn't, but it would have gone down in legend because those two guys and what they said and what you could hear clearly on the broadcast if you knew what you were listening for.
I always liked in the Paul Harvey, and now you know the rest of the story, is the pause. And now you know
the rest of the story. See, there we go, Blair. This is great. Exactly. I'm so happy that because I do say this sometimes to younger people, and it's right over. I can say younger people now because I've been around the industry a while. But I would listen to the radio in the morning. It'd be the Paul Harvey rest of the story. So we just repeated exactly what it was. But yeah, right on the radio every morning, and it was. And now you know the rest of the story.
And I like that you brought up that particular story with the Do It Kels. It was a terrific story, a great find and discovery. I suspect at some point it would have come out that, at that point. But you heard it and asked about it and wrote a terrific story. And we're actually sitting here having this conversation in a room at the Chiefs practice facility that's next to a table that includes about, 30, 40 Travis Kelce jerseys, I think, waiting to be signed. So that's pretty cool. All right, so you're on the beat. You're covering the Chiefs. Let's put you in the awkward position of asking you what you think will happen to this team this year. Totally unfair, and but that's how it goes, Jesse. That's we still want an opinion from you on how you think things might shake out. First of all, let's do this. How do you think they did in the draft, and then how does that translate into potential success for this team?
Yeah, so, I think it's been pretty much across the board how people think that they did in the draft, which was really well, and this is sort of where I kind of go back to doing enough fantasy baseball auction drafts where you realize the best ones that do it aren't the ones that go in with the mindset of I have to have this player or I have to have this person. You sort of see how things fall to you, and then you react appropriately. And I think that's what the Chiefs did in this particular draft, which was they didn't panic when they had the run of receivers. They didn't panic when, their guy, Jameson Williams or whoever wasn't on the board for them. They kind of let things fall. And then, you heard Brett Veach say it after the draft where he said, hey, if you'd woke me up this morning and asked me what direction I thought that the Chief would go in today, this is not the direction I would have thought, but that's what you want. You want to be flexible on your feet and take advantage of the scenarios and not go in with just that laser focus on you have to do something. That's where you get yourself in trouble, and that's where you can lose some value. So I would grade it very high. Obviously, they needed some of these guys. They need McDuffie to step in right away as a starter, whether it's on the outside or in the slot. They need Karlaftis to come in and play a lot of downs for them. So they needed sort of particular help, able to find at their portion of the draft. I would say the only thing that you look at and you say down the line, will this be looked at even further, is trading up to get McDuffie and paying a lot to do so in draft picks, because sometimes we've seen the Chiefs do this. They found great value in the third and fourth rounds before, and so McDuffie isn't just McDuffie; it's McDuffie plus a couple picks that could turn into be something. And sometimes with the Chiefs, that's even more value because they tend to draft well in that section too. So I would say that's the only question mark with it. But I think in terms of waiting for what was around around and taking those positions when they got to them, I think you have to grade their draft really high. And I think that for a good reason that a lot of people out there, a lot of the analysts who have been around the NFL beat more than a week, were saying the same thing, that this was a pretty good draft for the Chiefs.
Well, I like that analytical approach to the situation, Jesse. All right. Appreciate it. And we will talk many more times as the Chiefs season unfolds.
Thanks, Blair.
Buying your first home is a huge milestone, but the journey there can be confusing. First Federal Bank of Kansas City is here to make it simple. After nearly a century of serving the KC community, our loan advisors have experience in every type of housing market. With a short phone call, we can give you a free rate quote and talk through loan options. No pressure, no obligation. The road to home ownership can be simple with First Federal Bank. Get started with a free quote at ffbkc.com/homes. First Federal Bank of Kansas City, because banking is personal. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, it's Blair. We have a special subscription offer for SportsBeat KC listeners, unlimited digital access to the Kansas City Star's award-winning sports coverage. Sign up now for 1 year of Sports Pass for access to all the sports news, features, and columns presented on the kansascity.com site, and it's only $30. That's a 40% savings off our regular rate. Your subscription will automatically renew after the initial term at $50 unless you tell us to cancel. Your subscription helps support the sports coverage of kansascity.com and the Kansas City Star, and that support has never been more important. Please visit kansascity.com/SportsBeatKC offer to get this special offer. And as always, thanks for listening. Let's also get to know some of the Chiefs rookies. First up, cornerback Jaylen Watson. He was a 7th-round pick, number 243 overall from Washington State. The Chiefs love his size at 6'3", and you're going to enjoy his story about working for his mother after sitting out a year in college. Here is Jaylen Watson.
What was day one like getting out there and being a professional for the first time?
It's exciting. I was looking forward to it for a long time since the day I got drafted, so it was fun. Trying to get my legs back under me. Everyone's pretty sore after the first day, but it was a great experience.
Okay, not a football-related question, but it's obviously Mother's Day. So do you have any inspirational women in your life, and how have they inspired you?
Yep, my mother and my grandmother. My mother's always been, so supportive of me. I went through a lot of ups and downs in my life, and whether I wanted to be an actor or a rapper, whatever, she was always there to support me. So it's like my superwoman.
You also worked together at one point.
Yeah.
Tell us that story and how it came to be.
Yeah, so I had to take a year off because of school. I ended up going back home for a year, and I just couldn't stay in the house, watch my mom work, so I tried to look for a job. Ended up couldn't find one. She's the manager at Wendy's, so I ended up working with her, and I love her to death, but it was terrible. But it's so bad, like you get no breaks away from your mom. You go to work, you with your mom, you go home, you with your mom, you can't even talk about work, or it was just bad, but I still love her.
What do you think that? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
This was in between stops for you along your college path, and I'm wondering how that experience helped shape you and motivate you to continue your football path.
Yeah, just seeing, first-handedly seeing all the sacrifices she put in to get me and my sister everything we wanted, kind of made me push harder and strive to be something in my life.
Jaylen, did you get to know Trent McDuffie at all along the way? I know you guys played against each other in the Apple Cup,
and we
just
won by a lot.
Ready for the draft. You guys kind of cross paths at all?
I met Trent at the Combine, and I told him, how did it feel for us beating them that bad? Because I never lost to UW. That was my first time playing them. And but yeah, me and Trent, we're close. We both got that Washington connection, and look forward to meeting him more and getting to know more about him.
A lot of anxious moments, obviously, during the 3-day weekend of the draft. As the 7th round started, what was that moment like for you when you finally got the call and you saw your name or you heard your name come across that TV?
It was so nerve-wracking. Me personally, I wasn't expecting to go that late, so I was kind of down, and everyone was telling me, stay off your phones, because I'm looking at every draft pick on day 3, because I knew I was going to be a day 3 guy. Then everyone just kept aggravating me, and they were irritating, and they didn't understand what was going through my head. So I separated myself from the family. Me and one of my close friends, we went out to my car and was just listening to music. And I already seen Kansas City got 2 corners, and I really wanted to go to Kansas City. I was like, man. Then they called. I seen the Kansas City area code. Me and my friend looked at each other, and our eyes got super big. And they said, this is the Chiefs, and I was just so excited. I started running full speed down the street. Everyone in the house see me. They was like, what's wrong? Who is it? Who is it? I was like, it's the Chiefs. So,
you said you want to go to Kansas City.
Yeah.
Why Kansas City, and especially, they've got defensive back and a lot of other picks?
I feel like this is a great position for me. A lot of press, which is usually for longer corners. I love winning, and what better place is a winner place than Kansas City? In the past 5 years, it's no one. So, perfect situation. I hate losing, and we're not going to lose much here, I don't believe.
When you think back to when you were, you thought you were done playing football and eligible because of grades, to this moment now, like, what's that feeling like? Is it making even that much more special?
Yeah, it's super special. I'm just happy I can make my mom proud, give God all the thanks.
You came here on a visit before the draft, right?
Yeah.
How did that go?
It went great. Talked to Coach Spags, talked to Coach Merritt. I just wanted to see like how much I knew IQ-wise and how much I knew about football. And it was great. And once I left, I knew this is where I wanted to be.
With the draft day situation, were you back in Georgia?
I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who in all your family was there?
So I don't have a big family. Most of my family lives in Florida. So it's me, my mom, a couple of my close friends, and their parents.
What gave you the indication that the Chiefs were going to go and get you? Was it something on the visit, or you said you wanted to really be a Chief? What gave you the pre-indication, pre-draft weekend that the Chiefs might be the team?
To be honest, figuring out where you're going to get drafted is like getting the March Madness bracket, right? You'll never know. All the mock drafts you see, they might get the top 3 picks, right, or 5, but after that, especially going to the second and third day, you'll never know. So I was just praying, because like I said, I love winning. I was just praying the Chiefs got me, and it ended up happening.
Jaylen, we mentioned a lot of press that you like. What other things do you like about this Chiefs defense so far from what you've seen in the Federal?
Just press. I love pressing. Love getting my hands on people. I live off physicality. I like to get in my opponent's head, and that's what I live for. So that's what we're going to do.
Jaylen, you're a Georgia guy, and the numbers came out that Georgia was, one of the top drafted states, all guys coming. So what does that say about, the state of Georgia and the talent coming out of there?
It's super talented. Where I come from is outside of Atlanta, so it's not, heavily recruited, because why would you go to Augusta and recruit when it's 10 million athletes in Atlanta? But just like seeing the talent-wise, and I know so many talented people that never even got the opportunity to go to college. Then I went to junior college in California. Then the talent level dropped. Then seeing the walk-ons at Washington State, I'm like, how did they even get into this school? So I really do think Georgia is the best state for recruiting.
That was Jaylen Watson. Next up is running back Isiah Pacheco. He was a 7th-round selection from Rutgers, number 251 overall. Let's hear from Pacheco, who is full of confidence.
One thing I just have to start with is Little Poppy, the nickname. Where's it come from?
Just back in the day, they used to call me Pop, but then my uncle, rest in peace, my uncle, he used to call me Pop Lottie. Then it went to Lil Poppy instead of Pop Lottie, so it's Lil Poppy. Then 856, the area code in New Jersey, so I use 856 a lot.
Why number 10? Obviously do you feel any pressure in knowing who previously wore that number?
Definitely know who wore it, and I don't feel any pressure. I wore this number before my freshman year in college, and did a great job with it. It's more not the number, it's the player, so, I'm the guy that's wearing it and just got to go out there and execute wherever they need me at.
What do you think your impression so far of the offense now that you got your hands on the playbook?
Excuse me?
What are your impressions of the offense now that you got your hands on the playbook?
Just take it day by day and just keep going over with Coach Lewis and, look at the guys that have been here before. When they come back, just take advice from them and, kind of just get a routine going.
With it being Mother's Day, off the topic of football, do you have any inspirational women in your life that you look up to?
Yes, my mother. Also, her name is Felicia Cannon. She lost 2 kids due to murder, so I look up to my mother a lot. She's very strong, and for me to be on the stage and represent her and my family is a blessing.
Did you get to share your draft night with family? And tell us
Yes.
about that.
Draft night, I went for 2 days. I was thinking more so like late third-ish round, but it didn't work out the kind of way I wanted. So I went to the next day. Family was there. We were at a place called Double Eagle. It's kind of a little sports bar. Where one of my other buddies from Violent got drafted from the Rams. So we kind of I followed his footsteps and went to the same place and just was waiting for the call. And when I got it, stepped outside, it was crazy. Coach Reed was asking me was I live, and I heard him say, "Go." Somebody, I believe they said we're going to turn your ticket and turn the TV on. So I was so excited. I put the phone in my pocket. Mind you, I didn't even know I didn't even hang up, and Coach was still on the phone. And everybody was just screaming. Coach was like, "Wow, like you're live." I couldn't even hear you just screaming. So definitely a blessing. I'm blessed to be here and ready to take advantage of opportunity.
What did you think about Kansas City before you got here, and now that you're here, does it meet those expectations?
I used to play with them a lot on the game, especially Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill. So, just using those guys, looking up to them, watching them, and being in the shoes like they were when they were a rookie. Just taking it day by day, and for me to execute when I have the opportunity out there on the field, wherever it is, whatever position, to help the team win.
You said you thought you were going to be a third-round guy. You carry a chip on your shoulder now?
Definitely do. Always carry the chip. From Rutgers, we got a lot of people that hates Rutgers, but me, I'm a New Jersey guy. I bleed sweat and tears. New Jersey, I got it tatted on me. It says "Go hard or go home." You got New Jersey here, the Scarlet Knight, and my Violent High School logo. So I'm a Jersey guy, and for me to be here in Kansas to represent New Jersey, I'm gonna do it to the best ability I can.
You said you're the youngest one to do it. Feel like Pat Mahomes. What made you say that?
There was a song. And one of the rappers, he was saying, talking about Pat Mahomes and stuff like that. And for me to actually feel like I'm actually about to be in the situation to play with him and protect him. For me to just be in the position I am, just take advantage of it and go block my behind off for Patrick.
Have you had any contact with Clyde or Ronald Jones thus far? And if not, I guess not. If not, what unique traits do you think that maybe you could bring to that?
I haven't contacted Clyde yet, but definitely 2 different types of runners. Phil's a little bit more different size than Clyde. So whatever I'm able to help on the team and whatever coach wants me to do, I'm gonna do it. No matter what position it is, it could be it don't even matter. I'm just ready to get out there and just to make the team. It's going to be exciting.
That's it. With playing the sport, you got to obviously play with confidence. But for you, where does your confidence come from?
My confidence comes from my hardships. Losing 2 siblings, and people don't really go through that nowadays. And for me to make it to where I'm at today, and and look back on it, it was a lot of hard work done, and I just leaned on my mother and my parents for them to guide me, to make my sister and my brother proud, looking down on me. So for me to just go out there and play hard for them and my family, I'm gonna do so.
Finally today, we'll hear from wide receiver Skyy Moore from Western Michigan. He was a second-round pick, number 54 overall, and I enjoyed what he said about the Chiefs' playbook.
Skyy, what do you think you bring maybe to the receiving room here that maybe they didn't have before you came?
I feel like the receiving room that I'm walking into had about everything but I feel like I bring versatility and just another playmaker.
Skyy, how's your hamstring feeling, and do you think that's going to be a problem
the rest of the spring?
Nah, I feel like it's getting better, and it's a minor hamstring tweak. I'm just working with Rick right now, and I'm gonna be back soon.
Skyy, I see your teammate here. Your teammate Josh Nunley is also here. So
Bryce Nunley. Yeah.
Bryce Nunley, okay. Oh, what does that mean? Just to have somebody familiar with you going into camp?
It means a lot. Like I talked to them. It's Bryce Nunley and Mike Caliendo. So we're Western Michigan is well represented in the camp. So it's just happy to get back on the field with those guys.
What are you learning about the playbook so far, and how you feel you mesh into this system?
I feel like this is the best system for me, and the playbook is I've figured out like you can't really stop our playbook. It's just something. It's just everything about their plays just is a way for us to attack the defense in every type of way.
You said before that you studied Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
Any surprise that you've been compared to him?
No, I don't think so. He's a good football player. I like to think of myself as the same, and he does a lot of the things that I try to do.
You've chosen to wear number 24.
Yeah.
A lot of guys, young guys at least, that choose that number, look at Kobe Bryant as one of their inspirations. Is that one of the reasons you chose that number?
I'd be lying if I said it was, but it was just I wanted to keep it just because that's who I felt. I grew into myself with this number, so I'm gonna just ride it out.
With talking to so many teams before the draft, is there something that you specifically wanted the Chiefs to know about you when you talked with them?
For not just specifically the Chiefs, but just every team in the league, just to know that I'm a consistent player, I'm a worker, and I'm gonna do whatever the team needs to win.
Any conversations with Pat so far? I know you sort of shared how excited you were when you got drafted that time.
Yeah, we had a couple conversations just about coming in here, getting the playbook down and taking the mental reps and doing everything I can to help me and set me up for the next step.
What expectations do you have for yourself as a rookie?
Yeah. Really, I just want to come in here and just carve my role out and do whatever the team needs for me to do so we can go get that next Super Bowl.
What do you see as the biggest learning curve as you move into the NFL?
Really just how detailed the playbook is. Everything matters, from your split to the route to the leverage of the corner. It's everything. So that's definitely something not new, but just more amplified.
Non-football related question. It's
Yeah.
Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Do you have any inspirational women in your life?
Yes, I got all of my grandmas, my mom, and even my best friend's mom. So happy Mother's Day if you guys are watching, and I love you guys.
How have they impacted you?
They just they impacted me so much throughout my life, just on all aspects, but really just how to treat women, and just the type of I look into my girl, like in my girlfriend, I not expect, but I see the same things my mother does. Yeah.
Watching the Chiefs in the past and knowing what you know, do you look at this and say, hey, there's things that Tyreek did that I know I can do? Or do you see, other players and other roles that you think you fit into?
Yeah, they make plays. I'll try to make plays. So if you're a playmaker, I want to do the same.
That'll do it for today. Thanks to our SportsBeat KC production staff of Randy Mason, Monty Davis, Jeff Rosen, and Chris Fickett. Tip of the cap to Jesse Newell. You heard him throughout college basketball season, and now the conversations will continue with the Chiefs. Today's morning sports edition was 32 pages with great stuff about the Chiefs rookie minicamp, the weekend in auto racing, baseball, the NBA and Stanley Cup playoffs, much more. Go to liveedition.kansascity.com for more information. Thanks for listening, and come back for more on Tuesday when we check in with the Royals on SportsBeat KC.